Welcome to Inside Radio. Today I'm with Maria and Ethan and we're going to talk about the women's division. For a few years now the women's wrestling has been getting better and better, and I think now it's as good as it can ever be. What do you think, Maria?
I think the women are absolutely great wrestlers, and I think that WWE should give them their own show just for the women so they can have all the spotlight and more storylines. Ethan?
I think the women's are quite good at wrestling because they might need their own belt, not like one belt.
Like a US champion, like the men have got, and Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
What about tag teams?
Tag teams with two were on both of them.
So, if you could pick a tag team, who do you think at the moment, including SmackDown and Raw, you can put them both together? If there was a women's show, who do you think would be the two best people as a tag team? Two best women as a tag team?
Charlotte and Naomi.
Charlotte and Naomi, yeah? As a tag team?
Yeah.
What would they be called? Charnomi?
Yeah.
And what about you, Maria?
I think that, right now there's an alliance between Mickie James and Dana Brooke, so I think they would make a very good tag team at the moment. What do you think?
What about, best tag team I think could be probably Tamina and Nia Jax, possibly, or Charlotte and Becky Lynch, either or. They've been teaming up lately, so Charlotte and Becky look pretty good together, don't they?
Yeah, good alliance.
So, the current champion is Naomi, and she's going to be wrestling against Natalia. Maria, you're a bit of a Natalia fan.
Natalia just this Sunday at Battleground, she won the 5-way elimination match. I think she did absolutely great. She was on point. She can wrestle amazingly. She's got the skills. She's a veteran. She's been doing it for loads of years, and she actually came into WWE at a very strange time for women. They weren't. It was only really Barbie model-looking pretty women at the time. She actually sent in her videos applications a lot. She kept getting refused. And she stuck through a very tough time, and she's started off the revolution. She's laid the groundwork for it, and I think she deserves to be champ.
She's no Charlotte Flair though, is she? Let's be honest. What do you reckon, Ethan? Charlotte or Natalia?
Charlotte is like a good wrestler. Like, got cool moves. Like, the flip is like sick.
The moonsault.
Yeah.
Off the ropes, yeah? Sick move.
Yeah. And the dangerous move.
Sorry, we've got two very Charlotte biased fans here.
No, we're not biased. We just see the best when we see it, don't we?
Mhm.
So what about this anyway? I thought about this for a match. Okay, we're talking about women being as good as men, blah, blah, blah.
Because they are.
Jinder Mahal versus Charlotte Flair for the championship Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
No!
Why?
Because they're both... You can't have a boy and girl match.
Oh no, but it'd be good, wouldn't it? And she would win. Okay, what about this match that's being talked about then? Possibly Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania next year, or possibly Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey. What match would you rather see?
I think I would rather see Steph and Ronda, because it's just... I feel like it's more of a Stephanie kind of match. Charlotte's a wrestler. Stephanie's a fighter. I think Ronda's not got that much wrestling experience. She's a fighter, and so is Steph. She can wrestle, but I think between them two it'd be more like a brawl. But Charlotte, she needs to go for that women's championship, and honestly, she is the best woman at the moment. I think she's better than some of the men, and she's definitely living up to the Flair legacy.
Even better.
And I think she's stepped out of her dad's shadow now, and I think, she is potentially better than her dad.
Okay, so what about next year? I heard about a woman that they're going to do a women's Royal Rumble, but I read that they can be thrown under the rope as well as over the top. You think that's a bit stupid?
I think
Should be over the top. Really,
I think the
it?
same rules should apply to the women and the men.
Ethan?
I think it should be the women like same of the men's Royal Rumble.
Exactly the same, yeah? So over the top rope.
Who do you think, like, so usually in Royal Rumbles you get a special or like a surprise wrestler coming back or coming in after being out for quite a while. Who do you think in the women's Royal Rumble would be an absolute shocker to come back?
Trish Stratus or Lita. I've heard Lita might be wrestling again.
I think that would be great. Speaking of coming back, the Bella twins are set to return quite soon.
Oh look, no one's really getting too excited about that, are they? They should just stick to total Bellas and spending John Cena's and Daniel Bryan's money.
They have been training quite a lot recently. As you've seen I've seen the Comic-Con panel interview, and Brie and Nikki have both said that they've been training hard, and Daniel Bryan has actually been training Brie Bella lately. So, if they do come back, we could see improved wrestling skills from the both of them. What do you think? Do you think they're good wrestlers, Ethan?
Yeah.
Do you think they've got good characters? Do you think they can get the crowd going?
Yeah. Like, the crowd can keep on, like, clapping and cheering for the wrestlers.
Do you think Nikki Bella gets quite a good crowd response?
Yeah.
She, when she returned a little while ago, she got an absolute amazing response. So
Look,
you do see a lot of people with her merch on.
The last time we saw her, and we spoke about this before, was at WrestleMania when they Nikki and John tagged up to fight the Miz and Maurice. Let's be honest, that match looked like it was going to be absolute rubbish, but it was the Miz and Maurice that made that match.
Yeah, with all the build-up and the taking the mick.
Cena and Bella's now, they should move on. Maybe Cena a few more matches, but the Bellas should just move on now. There's too many younger, better wrestlers that are in it still.
Well, speaking of younger and better, I think Nia Jax, she's moved up from NXT. She was a fresh talent a little while ago when she came in. I think she is absolutely great.
Okay, just quickly on that one. What about on Raw when she was wrestled Emma and that move she done, run and spun over, landed on top of Emma, for someone of her size, that was incredible.
Very athletic, that was amazing, and she's very powerful as well.
Alright, SummerSlam. You've got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar,
Braun.
Samoa Joe, Braun, and the fifth one, Nia Jax.
No.
All right.
Doesn't make
Although
sense.
we have seen women in a men's match with Beth Phoenix. I'm pretty sure she had a fight before with a man as well. Who came into the Royal Rumble one time and eliminated the Great China. She's been in a lot of men's matches.
Stephanie McMahon versus Vince McMahon.
I do think that women have the potential to have great matches with the men. However, I think that the women should have their own show so they have more time, more TV time, more opportunities for different storylines.
Okay, brilliant. Well, if you're listening and you like us, you can follow us on Twitter at PodcastIWUK. We are doing a show every week now. I'm just talking about what's been going on in the wrestling. So Ethan, what do you reckon the best match was at Battleground?
As I've been hearing, Jinder Mahal and Mandy Orton.
Yeah, because you like the Great Khali, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was you glad that he come back?
Yeah.
Really glad.
Yeah.
Very surprising, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Very
it's good
sure.
for India though. 1.3 billion people. I'm not sure most of them have televisions, to be honest, but a few of them must have.
How do we feel about Bailey beating Sasha Banks to face Alexa Bliss? Do we think that Bailey and Alexa Bliss will be a good match again, or do we think that Banks should face Bliss? How do you feel about that upcoming match?
I'm not a hugger. I'd rather see Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks win, but Alexa Bliss is a really good champion, I think.
Can we see a potential heel turn for Bailey?
definitely, 100%. This year, before this year's out, I think Bailey will turn heel. I thought they were going to do it with Sasha Banks, but I think they've changed their mind now and they're going to do it to Bailey because she's had the belt now and really it's just, you know, she needs to do something to change. You can't be a hugger all your life, can you?
Ethan, can you see Bailey as a good heel, a good bad guy?
Yeah.
Who do you think she could have a feud with? Do you reckon that when she turns heel it will be her versus Sasha Banks a lot? Do you think that would be a good feud for them to have?
I think Bailey might have a fight with Sasha Banks.
Do you think that would be a good match?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bear in mind as well, Sami Zayn and Bailey are very similar. They've built up such a reputation as a babyface. It'll be I think it'd be harder to turn Sami Zayn than it would Bailey, but I'm sure they could turn Bailey. But it's got to be through probably Sasha Banks winning the belt against Alexa Bliss, and then Bailey turning on Sasha Banks, or vice versa. But I think it's going to be Bailey that turns heel. That's just my opinion.
Lana, she has gone from being Rusev's valet to being a superstar on SmackDown. Do you think Lana is a good wrestler? Do you think she's got skills? Do you think she has talent?
Yeah.
Dad?
She has, but you know she's very pretty as well. So you know I think she's gone a bit further than some of the older. You know she's pretty and she can sort of wrestle, I suppose.
I have a question. What are they doing with talent like Summer Rae and Emma? They've been in it for quite a while. They're both very talented wrestlers. They've got good characters going. Why are they not being used to their full ability? This is why I think women should have their own show, because they will have enough time. They will have enough TV time for all the women to have an opportunity at some sort of storyline.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well, Total Divas will be back on soon apparently, so you'll be able to see what everyone's doing.
Apparently Alexa Bliss is joining season 7. Do you think that'll be interesting to see Alexa
yeah.
Bliss?
Yeah.
Do you like Alexa Bliss? Do you think she's a good heel?
I think she might win.
Against Sasha Banks.
Definitely. I think that it would be a very good match between them two. And also, do you think Alexa Bliss is good on the mic? I think she's one of the best at the moment.
Good facial expressions, good acting, everything. Everything about Alexa Bliss is positive and good.
She also has a gymnastics background, but I don't think that she's using that to her advantage. I mean, we're only seeing DDTs at the moment and some basic moves. This is also with WWE where they have such... You know, where they don't have enough time in the match, they don't get to show their full abilities.
Okay, well that's fair enough. We've only got a little while left now, so just quickly moving on, talk about the Money in the Bank match. Obviously Carmella won it first time and second time around. When do you think she's going to cash it in? SummerSlam?
Yeah, I think it might be SummerSlam.
But then, will she cash it in against Natalya at the end of the match if she wins, or will she cash it against Naomi?
Well, whoever, if it's a brutal match, she'll just come in at the end and do it. Possibly a Baron Corbin as well, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. Anyway, well that's all the chat we've got today for the Women's Revolution. We'll be back next week with a show on a different topic, and keep watching Raw, keep watching SmackDown. Ethan, last words to everyone?
Please subscribe.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy this, stay with us, follow us on Twitter. We will be back with more chats like this. If you liked it, please leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening. Bye.